Hi guys, how is everybody? So it's been about a week, isn't it, since I've done a video, and I know I used to do them more often, and I know some of you are there thinking, come on, chop chop Anika, do a video every day or something, so you can have it with your coffee and your fag in the morning, innit? I don't think I'm going to be doing that for a while, though eventually I may get back to that again. It all depends on what goes down, people, and what is going down very much for me at the moment. What really is, you know, parasite cleanse, clear out time. I called it a nervous breakdown, but it is in the mundane, but in the mystical, it is a great, big, massive purge with the occasional break in between to make it doable. I've had lots of synchronicity, and I've had lots of insights, and I've had lots of guidance, so I know damn well that this is profoundly meaningful. Even when I'm on my knees begging for mercy, there is always a part of me, my true self, the I am presence, which is there, which is witnessing, which is holding the light, the truth of it all, like a lighthouse, you know, which shines out in the darkness of night, preventing the ships from crashing onto the rocks. It's a bit like that, and it's funny because I keep seeing lighthouse symbolism everywhere. It's been incredible, and I wanted to sort of try and see if I can pick it apart a little bit for my own reasons, but also for perhaps for reason of support, a little bit of help or support for anyone else who might be going through this in one way or another. You see, having lived in this reality, people, we all know we've been had, right? We know how gaslighted we've been, how manipulated we've been, and how what that's done to our psyche. It's done a real number on us. We've come to think of ourselves as powerless and small and insignificant and bad and guilty and so much more that one cannot put into words, because let's not forget, people, that all of this really, I mean, you open your eyes, you look around, you know, you see the mundane world, which is, you know, the Truman Show. It's not real. It's not at all. It's an imposed reality, an overlay, as it were. And it's there because the archonic mind parasites have hijacked our consciousness, and our consciousness is what creates reality. Alright? Well, I'm not saying that is the ultimate truth. What the fuck do I know? That is what I feel. That's all I'm saying with that. You know, I'm hypothesizing. That's what I'm doing. And anyone out there on YouTube saying this is the truth and that is the truth and whatnot, well, they're full of shit, because we don't actually know. What we do know, gotta sound a bit like Morpheus, we don't really know what the Matrix is, but what we do know is that was us that scorched the sky. Well, the Archons have scorched our minds, right? And we keep creating this bloody nightmare of a reality, which is duality, but there's a shitload of really nasty evil here. Anyway, so you know, what I look at it very shamanically, as you guys know. That is how I see things. I probably see it that way because that is what works best for me. But at the same time, I feel that it's important to keep it as simple as possible, because the mind likes to complicate things. The Archons love complexity, you see. The more complexity, as in negative complexity, complication, chaotic complication, you know. They like that because we get lost in that, and the more lost we are, the more they get to live and create the reality that they like. So basically what you have is the shadow self, which is made up of not just one self, but rather of all these different elements of self, we are fragmented, remember? There is also the true self, which is our pure essence, our raw consciousness, which is always there and has never been subjugated. It has remained pure, always. So you start to do shadow work, some people call it, I call it soul retrieval. You start really doing that. You start at the upper layers, and it's not too tough there. You know, it's doable, and yeah, it's a bit dark and it's a bit ooh and a bit ah, but you do it, you know, and you face the programs and the beliefs and the mind control, and you start to wake up more and more. You see the world around you, and the deeper you go, the harder it gets, because you start to, it's a bit like the Allied soldiers, you know. Everything was perfectly all right when they were still at Monte Cassino and the D-Day landing. So it was the going got really fucking tough, and they got into Germany. That's when the German army really kicked up a fuss. It's a bit like that. So, not saying, by the way, that D-Day was easy, because I remember being there and it was fucking horrific. But anyway, not a story for another day, as Rudyard Kipling said. So shadow work means reclaiming. It's like, as in What Dreams May Come, you go into hell to retrieve yourself, bits of yourself, which are then healed and reintegrated. The more that happens, the stronger, it seems, your true self becomes. The stronger your sense of, aha. You see, you start to get more synchronicity. You start to wake up more, very painful. You start to truly see the world for what it is and what it has done to you. You start to see that more and more and more and more. You also start to see your own iniquity, your own hate, your own envy, your own greed, your own selfishness, your own everything, which then urges you even deeper into that hell realm where so much of you is still lingering. And that is what you do, and you keep doing that. And as I say, it's a spiral path. It goes inwards, deeper and deeper and deeper, and it gets darker and darker and darker. The further down you go into the recesses of hell, and all this is initiated, as it were, by what I call keys. I call them keys. Some people say they're triggers. I call them keys now, because I keep seeing keys everywhere. It's like key everywhere, you know, in my face. So it's keys. These keys are events that happen, or people that happen, organic portals, soul people, doesn't matter. They say something, they do something, something happens. You have a toothache, I have today, it scares the shit out of me, but anyway, there you go. See, it's not a key. It brings shit up, doesn't it? It brings up the shadow, saying, oh, I need to go into myself, I need to go inside. Oh, what does this mean? How does this make me feel? And especially when you get to the deepest levels, it starts to become really quite simple, because you'll have faced the deepest wound, which is, I am so worthless, I do not deserve to exist at all. You have really faced that. You then have to really go into that and really explore that and really feel that, and all the nuances and variables of that lie. All the programming, all the illusions. Oh, they're not illusions. I've lived in this world and it's a fucking piece of shit, and look what's happened to me, and why did that happen to me if I am a powerful creator being? No, all this is true, and these are valid questions. It's clever, you see, the mind virus. Now, all that resistance that comes up is essentially your shadow selves refusing to go into the light. The main fear is, I cannot go into the light because I will be betrayed yet again. Oh no, that red thing is coming up. Okay, right, so it's terrified of being betrayed yet again. That's why our shadow selves linger in the torture chambers. And that is why we suffer and create shit. I'm gonna call it a day with this little one here now, and I'm gonna do another one either later on today or tomorrow or next week. I'm so sorry, guys. I should have really charged it up. Suffice it to say, people, that, you know, everything we face, victimy, you know, I'm a victim, they're all doing it to me, or self-hate, a very hard one, all of these things, these are all parts of ourself, parts of our soul, resisting. This is how it is, because this is what happened to me, and so this is how it is. But the reason it is how it is, or how our shadow selves see it that way, the reason for that is because of the mind parasites, the hijack, programming, beliefs and illusions. And so in essence we're battling that energetic programming, you see, but and what coaxing ourselves back into the light of love and reintegration. There's more to it, and I wanted to speak in more detail about this, but it seems my camera's not going to let me, so I'm very sorry about that. So it's a very short one today, people. I'll get back to you on this as soon as I can, I hope. Alright? Take care, babies.